Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Masterclass with Tapal. This is the place for new age management skills and lifestyle tips for budding managers like you all. So today we are all hearing about the G20 summit. So do you really know what do you understand by G20? Let me share some of the important facts about G20 which I have read in the newspaper and on the various websites. On December 1st, 2022, India assumed the presidency of the G20 forum, taking over from Indonesia. Our great Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, called it as a huge opportunity for India. Let me quote his word: India must utilize the opportunity of G20 leadership by focusing on global good and welfare, be it peace or unity, sensitivity towards the environment, or the sustainable development. India has the solution to challenge related to all such things. What a great words. G20 together for a common good. The G20 was established in June 1999 and formally established at the G7 finance minister meeting on September 26, 1999, with the inaugural meeting on 15 December 1999 in Berlin. Canadian Finance Minister Paul Martin was chosen as the first chairman, and the German Finance Minister Hans Sichel hosts the inaugural meeting of G20. Currently, G20 members account for more than 80% of the world GDP, 75% of the global trade, and 60% of the global population. The G20 was founded in 1999 after the Asian financial crisis as a forum for the finance minister and the central bank governors to discuss the global economic and financial issues. So, what the G20 and its purpose? The G20 or Group of 20 is a intergovernmental forum comprising 19 countries and the European Union. It works to address major issues related to global economy such as international financial stability, climate change, mitigation and sustainable development for all. G20 or Group of 20 comprises of Argentina, Australia, Brazil, Canada, China, France, Germany, India, Indonesia, Italy, Japan, Republic of Korea, Mexico, Russia, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, Turkey, United Kingdom, and United States, along with the European Union. Every year, leaders of G20 members meet to discuss mainly economic and financial matters and coordinate policy of some of the other issues of mutual interest. The G20 does not have a charter or secretariat. The presidency, aided by the countries holding the presidency before or after it, is responsible for setting the agenda for each year's summit. The G20 process is led by the Sherpas of the member countries who are the personal emissaries of those leaders. The Sherpas oversees the negotiation over the course of the year, discussing agenda items for the summit and coordinating with the substantive work of the G20. The G20 work is divided into two tracks: the finance track and the Sherpa track. Within the two tracks, there are a coordination or orientation of working group in which all the representatives from the different countries, the different ministries of the members, as well as the invited guest countries and the various international organizations to participate. The working group met regularly throughout the term of each presidency. The agenda is also influenced by the current economic development as well by the tasks of goals agreed upon in the previous years. The G20 holds multi-year mandate to ensure institutional continuity. Previous G20 summit occurs in various countries, to be start with Washington DC, Pittsburgh 2008 and 9. The first G20 summit was held in 2008 in Washington. It set up the scenes for most dramatic reform of global finance in over 60 years. At the follow-up summit in 2009 in UK, London, the G20 agreed to blacklist those who refused to cooperate on effort to tackle the tax evasion and avoidance. In wake of 2018 financial crisis, the G20 resolved to impose stricter control on hedge funds and the rating agencies too. Institutional reforms include the expansion of the Financial Stability Forum to make it an effective supervisory and watchdog body for the global financial system. If you see, then we move to Toronto's Seoul, Keynes 2010 and 11. At the Toronto Summit in Canada 2010, the G20 adopted directives to reduce sovereign debt, the advanced industrial states reduction in their budget deficit and external borrowing. G20 leaders met again in 2010 in Seoul, the Republic of Korea, where they have adopted stricter regulations for the banks as well as agreed on the reform of the financial stakes and voting share in the International Monetary Fund or IMF. Then we move to Brisbane 2012, 13 and 14. The focus of the summit in Mexico in 2012 was on the fighting the youth employment and the creating equality job in the social security coverage and the fair income. The summit also highlighted the link between the development agenda, agriculture and green growth. In St. Petersburg, Russia in 2013, major progress was made on combating tax evasion and avoidance. Again, the G20 agreed on automatic exchange of tax information and the action plan on the base of shifting between the countries. This was intended help to create a regulatory policy to oversee the activities of the multinational businesses which were engaging in avoidance of tax, minimizing profit and shifting profit outside the countries where the activity driven those profits are performed. Then we move to China in 2020, and in 2015 the G20 looked for the first time at the migration and refugee movement. They also agreed to further financial sector reform and resolved to support the global climate agreement. The leaders also issued G20 summit on the fight against terrorism also. Then in Hamburg 2017, the G20 under the German president met under the theme Shaping an Interconnected World and accorded a special emphasis on the addressing the global menace of terrorism. The G20 leaders' retreat on the fighting terrorism was held ahead of the formal summit. The Hamburg Declaration adopted by the leaders in at the 2017 summit endorsed the irreversibility of the Paris Agreement. Buenos Aires 2018, the overcharging theme of G20 under the Argentinian president was to consist building for a fair and sustainable development. The priority area for the presidency were the future of the work, fourth industrial revolution, health, youth, infrastructure for development and sustainable food security. So this 18 G20 summit will be held in Delhi from 9th to 10th September. We should feel proud of that, and we should encourage all our colleagues, participants to see those summits and involved in the summit in whatever form they may be. So friends, if you like my thought, give my channel a huge thumbs up, share it, comment it and subscribe to my channel Masterclass with Tapas. Till I meet next, bye for now. Thank you.